Hey, welcome back. At least once a month, I do a big batch cook day. What I like to do is spend a couple hours and get a lot of meals done and put in the freezer, or at least, several proteins done, or a casserole, divvied up a couple times and thrown in the freezer. I like those things because I do have kids still at home, and even if I didn't, after working a full-time job, who wants to come home and figure out what they're gonna cook? If you need to go to the store, if you don't need to go to the store, does anything need to be thawed and actually have to cook that night? I would much rather have it already ready to go, plan out my week, pull what I need on Sunday, have that in the refrigerator. Or if we're short on time and hey, I thought I had dinner, or hey, something fell through and now what are we gonna eat? There's something there ready. And so one of our favorite tried and true recipes are out of this cookbook. My sister actually lives halfway across the country. We both have it. We have most of the Pioneer Woman cookbooks. And this one, out of the 5 books or so that I have, this one is the most used. And I want to show you, I'm not going to show you the whole recipe because I know you shouldn't do that. But I want you to see this spine. It has been opened and closed so many times that the spine is actually broken at this page. And so if we like something enough to use a cookbook that many times, I think I should probably share it with you. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna marinate some chicken, easy, quick, fast. And then the way that you buy it in the freezer section, that flash frozen, so that when you open the Ziploc bag to get the chicken breast out, they're loose, they're not all stuck together. We're gonna go over that too and how you can get that done. So the first thing that you're gonna do is get your workstation ready. You've got your cutting board, you've got your knife, and then you've got your chicken. I usually buy 2 big family packs like this if I can. I have not been able to find them at Walmart for the last several weeks. And so we did take a trip to Winco over the weekend and I did find some there. Now it looks like it's about $2.18 a pound right now, which isn't that much higher. I expected to see, as these prices have gone up, to see it a little bit higher, but it was actually a really good price. So what we're gonna do, these chicken breasts are huge. And so we're just gonna break them down and get them ready. So what you're gonna do, I don't keep any of this here. I cut all this off. And what I like to do with the scrap is, if you have an Asian dish that you really like, or if you just, wanna pan fry some up, put some barbecue seasoning on it, whatever it is that you like to do, save those little pieces if you've got enough of them and put them in a Ziploc bag for later. Throw them in the freezer, label them, or season them or marinate them now. And when it comes to it, all you have to do is pan fry them then. And then this piece right here is actually where the breast is attached to the breastbone. You're just gonna get rid of that too, we don't need it. And so usually one this big, I may even cut into 3 pieces. It's just one per, that's a lot of food, you guys, to finish. I'm skating a little bit. I'll put a wet paper towel down here in a minute. All right, that's a pretty big piece as well right now. If you don't know this trick, now you know. This will just keep you from skating around a little bit. This tile countertop, I do not love. And here, hopefully before too awful long, it's actually gonna be on its way out. But for right now, it's what I've got. And so we're gonna make it work. See how much more stable that is? So this is what we're going with now. I had a big bowl. I'm not sure what I did with it. Here we go. And so you're just gonna clean all of them up like this. Just clean your chicken up, get all the waste off that you're not gonna eat. All right, so we've got all of our gear out. We're ready to go. I did forget to tell you, I know I talked about the book, but I didn't bring the rest of it. I've got the link down below. Ree actually did put that recipe online as well. I think it's like perfect grilled chicken or something like that, but it is pretty much this recipe, and for us in our household it is perfect. So all right, so what we've got going, we've got 2 cups of olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out for now because we won't need it for this. And then we're supposed to have 2 cups of lemon juice too. I don't do 2 cups of either of them, just personally. I do half on the olive oil because I grill it outside on the grill and it tends to catch on fire whenever I do the full amount of the oil. So I always go half. And then my husband is not wild about lemon at all. So I usually do quite a bit less, just around a half a cup instead of the 2 cups. He just does not care for it. We will go ahead and get our dry ingredients. We've got a tablespoon of just about everything with the exception of the black pepper. And I'll go ahead and get those mixed up here in a moment. Oh, goodness gracious, that's way too much. And so from here, what I always do is let it marinate overnight. Usually the next day in the evening, I'll go ahead and get it on the grill. So tomorrow, we'll come back. It'll just be part of this video. And we'll do that. Oh, half a cup of honey. That is not a half a cup, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's good. And then 3 tablespoons of mustard. And I hate handling chicken, but the easiest way to do it is to just get in there and mix it up. That's where I wanted that. So just make sure that everything gets all mixed up. Everything's where it needs to be. You don't have seasonings all on one piece of chicken. You've got them everywhere. And then also, you know, we cut some of those breasts in half, some of them in thirds. Make sure that those are separated because they do tend to stick together inside there. And so tomorrow, for example, this, I've turned this around and around and around, and we've got one that looks like it wasn't touched at all. So just make sure that as you go through that, you're making sure that everything got touched and everything got seasoned. All right, so I'm gonna get some plastic wrap on it. Go ahead and I've got schmutz on my hands right now, but go ahead and push your plastic wrap down. So marinade does work best when there's less oxygen. So if you get that air out of there, it allows the meat to sort of open up a little bit and take that marinade a little bit better. We're gonna put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then we're gonna grill it. All right, guys, we've been marinating for about 24 hours now. Our grill's at 500 degrees. We've got chicken ready to go. Go ahead and put your grill on whatever you're comfortable with to get it to the 500 degrees. And we're just gonna go ahead and put our chicken on. Now, like I said, if you remember yesterday, I told you that it gets pretty juicy and sometimes can start a bit of a fire, which is why I don't use as much olive oil as it suggests. So all we're gonna do is just lay our chicken across there, okay? And you will see it flare up a little bit. For me, it's something that we've been doing this recipe for years, so we're pretty used to it. But every couple times that I do it, I do have to clean the grill down on the inside, just to make sure we don't start any fires. Now, I like to do this where when I cut it up, I end up with about 40 chicken breasts. It seems like that works really well for me to have, you know, let's say I have 8 breasts in the refrigerator for the week, and then the rest I put in the freezer. And that will last me the better part of a month, because we don't eat chicken breast every single day. Now see, that one, remember I told you guys to make sure you got them all seasoned real well, and I missed that one. So I'm just gonna drag it kind of through the rest of what you've got going on there and get it in. That's as much as I can fit in one go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave them in there for about 5 minutes on this side, and then go in and flip them. All right, so typically we would be flipping chicken over from the first set. You can see just to the left of me though, I actually made a mistake, and the video I thought I was doing was a photo, and so we missed that. This is what was left over in the bowl. And so I do typically have 2 or 3 sets of chicken that I put on the grill at once. You're gonna go ahead and get that turned over. If you're not familiar with when your chicken is done on the grill, do please take an extra 30 seconds, grab your thermometer so you do not get sick. That needs to be 165 degrees to get pulled. You're gonna go ahead and pull these off. Now I did lose a chicken breast, so here in just a moment you'll see a very satisfied face who got a chicken breast down below. And our finished product, my mouth is watering, and Bella's was too. She actually caught a wayward chicken breast. So onto your freezer paper. If you don't have freezer paper, wax paper will work. Just be careful when you pull it off of the frozen chicken. It does tend to leave a little bit of that paper on chicken, and you don't want to eat paper. So once that chicken is cooled, we're gonna pull them and just put them on our big cookie sheet. We're gonna layer a couple times with our paper and our chicken. We're just gonna alternate, wrap the whole thing in plastic wrap and put it in the freezer until those things are frozen. You can see Bella just waiting to see if I drop another chicken breast and make her day. We are not gonna do that. I do have some chicken juices that have drained out of the chicken once we pulled from the grill. I like to keep that and pour it into the Ziploc bags that we're gonna use to keep these frozen. You're welcome to toss it if you want to, but it is a ton of flavor and really delicious. All right, our first layer is finished. We'll add our second layer of freezer paper, rinse and repeat, and we will do this as many times as we need to until we've run out of chicken and we can wrap in plastic wrap. You'll pop that in the freezer for at least an hour and a half, preferably more. I do often forget it in the freezer until the next day. So however you'd like to manage that is fine. If you're finding value with this video, please give it a like so that it can be shared with other people who it can help as well. All right, so we are just gonna label those Ziploc bags really quickly, just so that we know what's in them once they come out of the freezer. Additionally, if you'd like to get to the point where you can better meal prep, if you know you're gonna use the grill and you've got something else that can go on the grill, go ahead and have that marinated or seasoned or ready to go once your first food is off. I had some pork chops that I wanted to throw on there as well, just to finish out meal prep for this week. These are those pork chops. It really just makes your week so much easier. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you can see when my next video drops.